Welcome, everybody who has joined us and then also that is listening to the replay. We are in session 3 of our 4-week program to Pathway to Bronze Ambassador. So welcome. I'm so excited that you guys are on or you're listening back to this because we really have been seeing some great things happening with the representatives that have taken part of our program. But before we dive into that a little bit, Christine, I know that we have you on today, and I know that we had a few pop in where stuff has came up. So they're going to be listening back to the replay. But we always want to make sure that we celebrate our successes, whether it's a new customer, whether it's a new sale, whether you met a new contact you've got to follow up on, someone joined your team, they placed their first order. You know, we want to make sure that we're always celebrating those successes, especially when our business and our leadership development is just beginning. So Christine, I'm going to ask you, not to put you on the spot or anything, I wanted to see if you had any successes that you wanted to share that's happened in your business lately.
I actually picked up 3 new customers this past week, and I got told by the post office not to put things into mailboxes. which I played stupid. I know you're not supposed to do that, but you know, when it's raining, you really don't want your stuff wet. So.
You know, I heard before that you're not trying unless someone tells you to quit doing something.
Right? I have heard that as well. And congratulations, you got 3 customers. So, you know.
Absolutely. Christine, where did you find these customers?
Couple of them were from canvassing, and one of them was from Nextdoor.
Oh, awesome. You know, there's nothing wrong with canvassing some brochures. You know, you never know who is looking for that Avon representative or that contact. Plus, what a great thing to do with any excess materials that you might have, whether they're an outlet or an actual brochure. So that is a huge success. So congratulations on that. I do know that Natasha Greer has earned her 2nd Bronze Ambassador bonus check with the close of campaign 22. So congratulations to her. But make sure you're celebrating those successes and give yourself that pat on the back. So Christine, we are definitely cheering you on and excited about your new customers as well.
Thank you,
So you're welcome, darling. So let's go over this session's objection. We're going to define what selling and impacting it has on your business. And I think Christine kind of told us a little bit with her customers, but we're going to dive into that just a little bit deeper. And then you're also going to be able to apply some key strategies to achieve these successes. And then you're also going to be able to identify, you know, what is next for you. What's the next step in my business? So we're going to kick off this session with a quick review of the last session so we can kind of make sure we're jogging everybody's memories. But our last session was the Ready, Set, Grow. And you guys had the opportunity to complete the Plan Like a Boss worksheet that you are seeing on the screen. We also had talked to reach out to 5 people a day, 5 days a week. And that's called the 5 by 5. Some people make it a 6 by 5 or a 3 by 5, however it fits their lifestyle. But that's how we keep new people through our pipelines with contacts of customers and possibly new representatives. We also covered how to host your own party or your own opportunity party, whether that looked like in person, something online, some type of way to gather excitement. And I don't know about you guys, but I heard of a Mexico incentive. That could be a great way to get people engaged with something like that. We're going to talk about that shortly too as well. And then also the last thing we said to you guys is encourage you to grow by 1 team member before our next call. So that was kind of our review of our last session. And Christine, I know you said that you had listened to the replay and stuff too as well. Did you have anything else on here that you had connected with the dots or that you thought was important in the replay that you had listened to from our last session?
No, I didn't have any questions about that, but I did want to review the requirements for the Bronze Ambassador.
I am so glad that you mentioned that, because guess what? We also covered that too as well.
And guess
So
what's on the next slide?
we are in sync today, Christine. I am loving this, loving this. We are thinking alike here. So we're going to definitely review this, because knowing what your goal is and knowing that you have to keep your eye on it is going to make sure that you are aware of your target, and you're also going to be able to track your progress throughout the time period. Plus, our Vibe system also helps us with that too as well. So just to review, for a bronze ambassador, you have to have $200 in personal sales that campaign. Plus, you have to have 3 representatives on your team place an order in your first generation. And all of that combined has to be $1,000 in team's sales. When you hit that, you will hit your bronze ambassador level, and you will earn your very first commission check, which is $125. When you accomplish the same thing the next campaign and the following 2, you will total out a $500 in commission, in bonus plus commission too as well. So Christine, did that answer your question?
It did. Thank you.
It did. Well, I had somebody ask me the other day, well, what's after bronze ambassador? Well, it's a silver ambassador. It's really all of the things that you just saw with the $200 in personal sales. It's 6 first generation orders and totaling $2,000. So you see a common trend there going. So let's talk a little bit more about the bonus opportunities that you have. You can actually earn a $20 bonus check for every new qualified recruit that joins your team, plus 3% commission every time that representative places an order. And that's going to be that residual 2-week income that you're going to start seeing. So when you earn the promotion bonus of $500 when you achieve bronze ambassador for the first time, and then others on your team can actually do the same thing as you become a bronze ambassador, Avon was actually going to pay you a $250 mentor bonus for doing that. So not only is it super fun when you bring friends to join the Avon team, but when those friends also bring people to the team. And that's also how your team can grow the fastest. So earning all of this is your reach to how you want to make it. And it's going to make it really easy to achieve that bronze ambassador spot when we talk about the BOSS system that we went over the last module. So let's talk about one more fun little thing.
Just one more little thing, right, Lee?
One more fun little thing. You might have heard this. I'm not really sure. And Trisha, welcome to the call. We are glad that you are on. But you might have heard that we are going to have a fiesta in Los Cabos, Mexico. Has anyone heard of that yet?
Lane, I think it's a big thing.
You know what? It is a big thing.
Oh my
I've heard a little
God.
about it.
I'm so excited. So excited.
I am so excited. I am over the moon, because the cool thing is when we fill up planes of Avon representatives to go to these exotic locations, the excitement just builds and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then when they get back, they're even more excited. Plus, I've heard from a lot of people that, they've never been on a vacation like this. And to have the opportunity for someone else to pay for it, woo, sign them up. So let's talk about this a little bit.
Well, before we talk about it, let's ask Christine and Trisha, are you guys excited? We're obviously excited.
Yeah.
I want to know if you're excited. They went silent on me, Lane. I scared them to death.
You did. Maybe it was my excitement. I don't know. So, let's dive into this. Let's talk about this just a little bit. Oh, Christine. Hey, Christine, would you mind in a little bit if I picked on you a little bit? Would that be okay with you? Just say yes. It'll be good. I promise. Because in a little bit, once we go over these incentives, we are actually going to see what it would take for Christine to actually get to Mexico. Okay.
Sorry.
And we're gonna play that
Something
live.
happened.
Okay.
Yeah, something happened with my computer. I don't know. I could hear you guys, but I couldn't answer. So my answer was woohoo.
Well, good. We're going to show you a live example of how to get Christine there. So here's how it works. This all starts in campaign 23 with campaign 23 orders, campaign 23 title advancements. Avon is going to give you guys a head start because the actual incentive doesn't start until campaign 2. So that is super exciting. Anybody you bring on to your team before the holidays, you will get 300 points for that person joining your team, along with the $20 recruiting check, along with the extra commission too as well. When you promote to a bronze ambassador for the first time, we are going to give you 500 bonus points for that. So super exciting. And we're all working towards that level as well. And when you encourage a friend to start their own team and bring people to the Avon business and you help mentor them, we're going to give you 250 points for that. So a great way during the holidays to go ahead and kick off the points that you will be earning. In campaign 1 is when the actual incentive starts. So it's a couple of pieces: sell, recruit, and develop. When you sell between $300 and $499, we're going to give you 100 points that campaign. And then when you sell anything over $500, that's going to be 200 points a campaign. So this is an 8 campaign time period. And we're going to break down those numbers just a little bit. When you bring people to your team, if it is a Alma lead, which is an Avon generated lead, we're going to give you 150 points when that person places their first or second order of $150. And then if you have your friend, let's say that you met at Publix and they join and it's your personal lead that joined, we're going to double it and give you 300. But it gets better. Every time they place an order past that first one, we're going to give you 100 points for that one representative every time she does it. And I'm going to show you in a little bit how that can multiply very quickly. Also, if you promote your leadership title, again, in campaigns 1 through 8, we're going to give you 1,000 points for that. And then if you mentor someone in campaigns 1 through 8, that could be a total of 500. Now you might ask, Lane, these are all points are all great and wonderful, but how many do I need? How many do I need to get to Mexico? Well, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, 7,000 points will earn you a trip for 2. 5,000 points will earn you a trip for 1. And then if you have 3,000 points, that's going to earn you a mirror and brush set, a tote, and an Avon towel. 2,000 will earn you just the tote, and 1,000 will earn you the Avon towel. So that is the incentive to get yourself to Mexico. But we also have some great things too as well called Build the Love, to get your new representatives excited to kick their business off, not only as an opportunity for them to go to Mexico, but they also have an incentive where they can actually earn an iPad. Does anybody know anyone that could use an iPad before the holidays?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Who couldn't? So this is a great time of year to keep the sales going and keep them coming in. So when they sell $3,000 during this incentive period, there's going to be an iPad to earn. So this is a great incentive to keep the sales going through the end of the year and to cash in on any extra additional Christmas income. So I'm going to share my screen real quick if that is okay. It tells me I can't do that. So someone give me the power. So there is a little calculator that I made up because sometimes all these numbers can get a little crazy. And sometimes it's always important maybe to find a plan of what do I need to get there. So Christine, here is how we're going to show you, or you're going to show yourself how you see yourself getting to Mexico. So Christine, good, you came off mute. So let's talk about this early head start period, okay? Let's talk about how many people from campaign 23 through campaign 26 do you see yourself adding to your Avon business?
Let's say 2.
2, okay. I'm going to stick a 2 right here and hit tab, and bam, you got 600 points. Pretty cool, right?
Yep.
Okay. When do you see yourself promoting to a bronze ambassador?
I'm hoping within the next month or so.
Okay, so before campaign 26 is up, so we're going to add 1 right there. So bam, you got another 500 points. So you are at 1,100 points before this incentive has ever started. Is that not exciting?
Yes.
Absolutely. So let's jump down just a little bit. Let's also not forget that you can also mentor someone too as well. And a little tip, when we have these incentives, just the area that I have been in the last 3, half of the representatives that went on this trip were not with Avon when the incentive launched. So there's lots of opportunity with that. So Christine, thinking about campaigns 1 through 8, what do you see your goal as for your sales mark, or how much award sales you want to have each campaign?
I'd say where I'm at right now with the customers I have, maybe 300, 400 in that range.
Okay. So let's make your goal into that $3 to $4.99 range. And there's 8 campaigns of this. So we're going to say you're going to achieve that for 8 campaigns. If I tab over, that's 800 points. Okay. So now you're at 1,900. So let me ask you this. From campaigns 1 through 8, how many people do you see you adding to your team in that time period? What would be your goal?
1 through 8, let's say 4.
4. So 1 once a month, every other campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Would that sound good?
Yes.
Well, right there is 1,200 points. And here's the kicker, Christine. Every time they place that order past that first order, and it's $150 or more, we're going to give you 100 points for each one of those orders. Okay?
Okay.
So out of the 4 people that you have joining the team, 1 person can give you an extra 700 points. Isn't that cool?
Mm-hmm.
So even if we just had 1 person do that, you're at 3,200. But let's say, Christine, you are a great mentor and you are really encouraging them and getting their business started, and they're serving, 4 to 5 customers a campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So those 4 representatives times 7 is 28 additional orders. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's an extra 2,800 points for you. Isn't that crazy?
It is.
That's where like the most of your points is making sure the new people that you bring on continue to place orders through serving their customers every single campaign. And I don't know about you guys, but if you're bringing on 4 people and you just added 2 more to your team in campaigns 23 through 26, ladies, don't you think she could be up for a silver ambassador title advancement too, with having $2,000 in team sales,
Absolutely.
right?
That's a title advancement right there.
Absolutely, that is. So, Christine, how does it feel to be at 6,900 points, 100 incentive points away from a trip for 2?
I can feel that Mexican sun.
Ooh, who are you going to take with you is the question.
Oh, my boyfriend.
Ooh, I love it. I love it, love it. So keep in mind, Christine, any of your friends, anyone that you know, they can go with you too, just by becoming an Avon representative and playing to win. Okay.
Nice.
So super fun, super simple. And now that we kind of went over the trip just a little bit, what if in case someone doesn't want to go, they're scared of flying?
Mm-hmm.
They're afraid that infinity pool might jump up and bite them or something. I don't know. In case you have someone that's not interested in playing for Mexico, they might be interested in cash, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a trip for 1, if they don't want to go, we would give them a $500 bonus. And the trip for 2, we would give them $1,000 in bonus cash.
Nice.
So that's a great thing to think about too.
Mm-hmm.
So Trisha, Christine, any questions on the trip or anything? I tried to cover it as quickly as possible, so I don't know.
No, that's interesting. The nice spreadsheet.
Oh, well, thank you. We are going to be sharing it with you, by the way. Is that not cool?
Fantastic. I hoped you would.
Yes. We wouldn't tease you with something and not give it to you. That's just mean, okay?
Yeah, we will send the calculator out with the replay as well to help you out. So you can also help your new team members out as well. And one thing to add to what Lane has to say before I flip the slides, on the iPad incentive, on the Build the Love, remember that it's $3,000 that they have to have during that incentive period. but it's 3,000 with them and their first generation team members. So another incentive for them to build, and that sets them up when you're doing that campaign 23 through 26, that sets them up for the early success in the early incentive period for Los Cabos as well. So,
sorry, I got excited about the tracker.
I know, and
I was like, oh, I forgot to mention that.
it all plays in together, and that's the connecting piece right there.
Sorry about that.
And one person, just to clarify that even further, one person can sell $3,000 in the last 4 campaigns of the year, and very doable with fundraisers and such. But if they have help, it's even easier. So it is definitely doable for every new representative to earn that iPad. So,
absolutely.
moving right along, maybe. There we go. So we've been talking about this little picture all along, this boss selling system. Talked about in our first session, we talked about your belief, the belief in yourself and in your goals. We talked again today about continuing to set goals. It's a never-ending process. You're always continuing to set goals and growing. And then in session 2, we talked about outreach, and Lane said it earlier, the 5x5. So today we're really going to focus on selling. And selling is the result of your belief and taking action through your outreach. So we're going to identify what you can do to sell both the products and the opportunity. So every connection that we have is important, and that's why we love the 5x5 method. It creates even more opportunities for you to talk to people about both the products and the great earnings opportunity, and now the fabulous incentives that we have as well. So when you connect with people to sell the products, add team members, you can even start a fundraiser or get referrals as well. So many, many ways to get new customers and new team members throughout those contacts. So the key is just continuing the contacts. Like Lane said earlier, maybe for some it's 5 contacts a day, maybe for some it's 10 contacts a day. What do you want and how badly do you want it will keep you driving towards all of those contacts. And even if you hear no, it may just mean not yet for them. But by leaving them with a good feeling about Avon and carrying yourself well and leaving them with a good feeling, then maybe someday that no becomes a yes, whether as a customer or in answer to the opportunity itself.
You know what I love on that screen, Sheila?
I'm going back to that screen so you can tell me.
I love that it says always leave people with a good feeling about Avon. You know, it's not about begging them to order or begging them to join your team. It's about letting them know what your favorite product is and letting them feel it, smell it, touch it, whatever, taste it, and really leaving them with a good feeling about what the experience they just had. So, you know, that's big. That's huge. So if you can think about that when you're talking to a customer, always leave them with a smile and a sample and some of your information. So I love what it says at the bottom of the screen. That's cool.
Absolutely, Tammy, because when they
do that in life anyway.
Do what?
Shouldn't we do that in life anyway?
Right.
Absolutely.
If they do come back, who are they going to come to? They're going to come to you because you did leave them with a good feeling. So, and yes, Lane, we should do that in all walks of life, not just in Avon, but we like the slides. So, all right. So then when we look at the Avon brand, you're branding yourself. Be proud of the company that you represent every time you walk out the door or post online. So let me ask you, how do you represent your business when you leave the house?
Sorry, I was on the other side of the room there. I usually make sure that I go out wearing something that's my necklace or jewelry Avon and make sure that my makeup's on and my hair's done and my clothing looks nice and presentable.
Absolutely, because it makes a great first impression, and you're selling the products by wearing them. People will, sometimes you don't even have to open your mouth. People will just see what you have on and compliment, right?
Right.
You never know. Anybody else? Any other thoughts?
This is like my personal one-on-one training session.
Yeah, we do have Trisha on here, but she's on mute. Maybe in a situation. She may be in a situation where she can't come off mute, which we have that sometimes with lunch hours and things like that. So, Trisha, were you trying to say something? I'm sorry. Maybe not. All right. And then being prepared to find team members and customers. When you're out and about, you want to find team members and customers. So be prepared for it. How can you be prepared? We want to make sure that when we do meet people that we're prepared to talk to them about Avon. So how would you describe being prepared, Christine?
Business cards and brochures, samples. Keep those on you at all times.
Absolutely.
Can I just say the most important tool, I think, and granted, since when I started, it's changed a little bit, was have a pen. Now we have our phones, so I mean, you know, that's different, but it's important to make sure you have some way of getting someone's stuff down, and what is your plan for that? That's super important.
Exactly, because we all know that the fortune is in the follow-up, but if we don't get the name and number, then just meeting them many times is not enough.
Right.
So that follow-up, but absolutely good answers. And then being knowledgeable of what we have to offer. What are some ways that you can stay informed about what Avon has to offer?
I usually go through the catalog when I get it and then what's new. And also, I like to look up information on my own website about the products, because that's usually where you get the most information from, which is what customers see.
Absolutely. And it may be my soapbox issue for the day, because I was just looking at who has and who hasn't, but what about the Avon U training that we have available?
Right.
And how many resources are in there? Are we utilizing that, and are we utilizing that to its fullest potential?
I'm about a third through it.
Good job. Good job. She's not on my list of not having started yet.
Yes, no, I've started.
And something else, Sheila, to think about is, you know, try it yourself. That's really big. To be knowledgeable about products, you know, you got to know how it feels and smells and how it works, especially,
absolutely,
our anti-aging creams and things like that, our skincare. When you have a story, you know, our eyelash serum, things like that, you will sell it when you have that passion for that product. So that's huge when you try it and use it yourself.
Very true. Very true.
It absolutely is. And that really leads right into this next slide and a comment that I was going to make in regards to even making President's Club. As we've talked before, President's Club is $10,000 in a year, but you can focus on one product that you really, really love and sell and promote and sell that product and make President's Club. So it is really important, like Tammy said, to try those products and to know what the product does, what you like about it, because what you like and love, you will share with others. So on this slide, we're really looking at successful representatives that set selling goals every campaign. Yep, that's right. Every campaign. So like I said earlier, to grow, we're constantly setting goals and evaluating and resetting for the next campaign. So if you have your Plan Like a Boss worksheet in front of you, page 2 is where this comes from. If you don't worry about it. You can use pencil and paper and take a look at it later. But what you want to do is look at the fact that you can make some simple calculations and set your selling goal for the campaign. So in the example you see here, The example is the representative has 10 customers with an average order of $50 that results in $500 in sales. $500 in sales multiplied by her 40% earnings is $200 in her pocket. This is very similar to what we did a call or two ago with the what we call our Southeast sales strategy, where you take the potential earnings that you want, the 200, multiply it by 2.5, gives you that same 500 in sales. So this is just another way of coming up with that same goal. It's either taking the number of customers that you have, moving to the sales and then into the earnings, or it's how much do I want in my pocket and moving from the earnings to the number of customers that it will take based on their average orders.
Hey,
yeah.
Another great thing when you're especially new and in your first 7 campaigns is thinking about that hot product and thinking, okay, now next campaign for my Kickstart goal, I need, $400. So you can work it backwards, like you said. I need $400 in sales. But I mean, you could take this and work the same way with how much sales you need by dividing $400 in sales by how many products you need to sell. So like, let's say the daily care collection is $20. So you would take that 400 divided by 20, and that's how many customers you need to sell to, how many you need to sell. So it's kind of the same thing. Did I say that correctly?
You did. You did. And you said basically you reiterated with an example of the exact same thing that I was trying to say in terms of you can go from the sales or from the earnings to arrive at your goals, depending on what you're trying to do. Like in Tammy's situation, she was saying, you're trying to hit that Kickstart goal. You need to see how many customers it's going to take, or how many orders of a daily care collection it's going to take. Or if you're looking at a dollar amount that you need, it's the same thing. It's just the reverse.
It's just a good way to plan each qualification that you need in sales, what that sales goal is. So plan that out every campaign as soon as you get started, or when you have a new representative getting started under you, help her plan out all 7 campaigns so you know what they need to do to meet that goal. So just make sure that's important, because so many times, we forget as mentors or leaders to help that person all the way through that Kickstart goal. So it's good to go ahead and plan it out so they can reach it. So this is a great tool right here to use along with the Kickstart.
So Tammy was reading my mail, because the next thing I was going to say was, imagine when you have a team, how that could implement the planning. So we already covered that. Absolutely. No, that's great. But that's exactly, and it is, because we have used this. We have seen leaders use this and the experience with it that we can kind of share out of our experiences and our examples. So Christine, do you see how this could be, and Tricia, if you can talk, I'm not sure, but do you all see how this could be beneficial for you and how you might use it? They're both on mute again. Well, I know that they do, because I know that Christine is working towards that trip for Cabo. So we're going to go ahead and move into President's Club. You're hearing probably, yes, there you go, Christine. Did you want to add to what we were talking about there? I don't want to talk over you.
I think she's having problems.
I am. It's for some reason it's cutting in and out, but yes, I can see how that's helpful.
Yeah, especially as you're working on those $300 to $500 goals for your Cabos trip, or even possibly moving into that 500 plus category towards that Cabos trip and earning twice the points. So great. Great way to utilize it going into the Cabos incentive as well. And then here we are at President's Club. So we hear a lot about President's Club. We hear a lot of President's Club and should hear a lot about President's Club all throughout the year. But as we end 2018, we hear a lot about President's Club because of these reasons. If you were to make President's Club in this calendar year through Campaign 26, you would receive these benefits from the time that you make it all the way through the full next calendar year. So you've got 40 to 50% earnings on your sales, 25 instead of 20 on the fixed earnings. You get the 3 demos. You get an invitation to the President's Club Tribute Luncheon. And you get to celebrate your birthday and holiday with gifts of 25 points. You also get points throughout the year based on your sales and sales increases and things like that they didn't necessarily mention on this slide. So there are a lot of benefits to being in President's Club. And that kind of brings me to my next slide, which is my person who really stretched her belief this year. She's not on the call with us because she does work a full-time job. But it's Sherry Harris. She's currently a Silver Ambassador. She's an Honor Society member, which means she's selling over $20,000 a year. And she is on her way to Rose Circle, by the way. But her belief window and her success is just huge. She went from early this year saying, my goal is to hopefully make President's Club. I think I might be able to do it. I don't know, just really kind of not confident about it. She did go through the coaching program with me and worked really closely with her upline, her mentor. And in campaign, let me see if I can get this right. In campaign 13, she was about $3,000 away from President's Club. So of course, we're already talking about, of course you're going to make President's Club this year, right? Well, she decided that, yes, I'm going to make President's Club. Her and her upline got together. They created a fundraiser, and Sherry and her co-applicant sold, let me think about this, 120 orders of Herbies, which doubled to 240. So like Lane was saying earlier, 240 Herbies, and resulted in her making President's Club. She's now on her way to Honor Society, and her whole belief window changed at that point. It wasn't, I hope I can get to President's Club, or even I hope I can get to Honor Society. It was, I'm going to be Honor Society. And I really want to try to go to Maui. And more than that, I don't even know. At that point, she didn't even know what it would take to get to Cabos. But she's like, I'm going. I want to go to Maui. I'm going to Cabos. So her whole demeanor, her whole belief window changed with that one fundraiser in that one campaign, and brought her to President's Club, and now beyond to Honor Society. And literally, y'all, she is about halfway between Honor Society and Rose Circle right now. So Rose Circle is even doable for sure. And she has moved from a barely performing star promoter to a very successful Silver Ambassador, now on her way to gold. So wow. Great success story, and it really did happen in one campaign, and it really changed her beliefs. So love sharing her story and her success there. So
that's awesome. Love that.
So awesome.
Very exciting. And I forgot to mention that her new goal, besides Cabos, of course, but her new goal is to replace that job that she's working in right now. For those who if any of you went to Rep Fest last year, or any of those that are on the call, she actually works in the horticulture department at Opryland in the hotel. So she is dying to get out of there, along with her co-op is wanting to leave their business as well and become full-time Avon. So, and now they actually see it happening. So it's been a great success. So that being said, we're going to wrap up this section with selling is easy. It's exciting to hear from people that have done it, and then to know that you can also do it too by practicing these key steps. It's 3 simple steps to success. As you see here, it says keep it short and simple. It's kind of like KISS. Keep it simple, keep it short and simple. Approach. Begin your approach with a compliment, because you share a passion with someone, because you like what they have on, you have a common thread with them that you can discuss. So it's starting that conversation. It's just approaching people. And like we talked about in the previous module, it's either maybe a compliment or just that common thread. And then you create an excitement. Remember earlier how we talked about you literally can make President's Club or your next sales level with one item that you're extremely passionate about. But it's deciding to put it into action. You can be passionate, but if you don't add action to it, it's not going to result in success. So when you add action to it, how will you share those items? And then the close. Whether or not the opportunity is for them, leave it open for them to have dialogue with you, because remember, no is not always no. No could just be not now. So if you leave the door open for the opportunity for them to say yes at a later date, then they will come back to you. And always remember to do the follow-up yourself. Get to the next slide. Sorry, Tammy. There you go.
Let me get
you're on mute
here.
There you are.
So I get the privilege of talking about how you can be prepared for every outcome. Well, it's as easy, honestly, as having your cell phone with you, but also it's easy with 3 ways you can set them up for success. So number 1, you're going to help them choose the best starter kit for them. And it's not always about the money, because as you know, the smallest kit's $25. Then you have the $50 kit and the $100 kit. But they may have the money and not realize what a value the $100 kit is and just say, oh, I want the 25. So it's best that you know what's in all 3 kits. The great thing about the $100 kit is you get the leather Avon tote with that and lots of products and samples that you could have your own little open house with. So make sure that you know about those kits. And then number 2, help them get started right away by immediately sharing the new representative offer available to them, which is on the slide here, the Daily Care Collection. And it is $19.99, and it is a $65 value. Just remember about that Daily Care Collection, that you want them to be able to text it to friends. They want to be able to email it out and also share it on their Facebook page or their social media. So number 3 is in the being prepared for every outcome is help them calculate their order size to generate their first order earnings. So as you can see, and we talked about before, Sheila was telling you, so you would ask them, how much would you like to make in your first 2 weeks? What will make Avon worth it for you? So what is your desired earnings? So in the example at the bottom, they want to earn $125. So then you times that by 2.5, which is actually the 40%. And you're going to get the total award sales for their first order. So their sales would be $313. Now we're going to divide that by 20, which is what we kind of talked about earlier. The $20 for the Daily Care Bundle, which is $19.99. then that equals the total bundles that they need to sell in that campaign. So how easy is that? They only need to sell 16 bundles to put $125 in their pocket. So what a great calculation or a tool that you can use. So make sure that you write this down or you take a picture of this, because it's really going to help you when you are talking to your new representatives to get them to place those first orders. So now we want to be prepared for new customers. So how can you be prepared before you walk out the door? You should always be ready to welcome people and let them know about Avon. So make sure you always have your brochures or your online store link, really both, ready to share. If someone asks to see the products and you don't have anything to share, it's like your store is closed, and we don't want that to happen. So that's the last thing that we want. Make sure that you have some samples handy with you, and maybe even a demo product that you would buy out of the What's New. And live demos are almost a guaranteed sale as long as you do maybe a handshell or let them smell it or have the samples. You know, the full-size products, especially this time of year while we're in the holiday season, those fiber optic, like the tree, I love that, and the angel that lights up. Almost guaranteed when you take that around with you that you're going to sell that. And Lane says, and the hand samples are her favorite. Absolutely. So, did we have any aha moments? We've talked about a lot this session. Now we'd like to hear from you, Christine or Tricia. Share with us in the chat or come off of mute. And what are some of your aha moments, what we've talked about today?
Do you mean questions or?
And what is it? If you have questions, that's great. And then maybe what did you learn? What was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
That was a good calculator for the trip to Cabo. That was a good learning experience.
Awesome. Yes, because it made it look very simple, right? Because it is. It's
right.
Very attainable and very reachable for you. And do you have any questions, Christine?
I do. With the ALMA leads, is that just like a, I know I'm opted in for that, but I have never received one.
Okay, so there's a couple ways that you can get the ALMA leads. One way is when you recruit 2 people within 3 campaigns, and they need to be qualified recruits, which means that they have $150 order or more and paid for on time. Then you will start getting the free ALMA leads. Also, at that point, you have to be at least a star promoter. Okay, that means 2 people under you. You also will get the leads through ALMA when you're a star promoter, and have the qualification also with the 2 people in the 3 campaigns. You can also purchase when you're a bronze ambassador. Is that correct, Lane and Sheila? You can purchase the premium leads, which the difference in those is those are the people that actually go to Avon and say, hey, I want to become a representative. So those are the really the leads. That the free leads are just people that are searching on Facebook maybe for a job or anything like that. And then the premium leads are those people that are saying, okay, I really want to sign up for Avon. Did that make any sense to you, Christine?
Yes.
Okay.
And
go ahead.
With the fundraising, I'm sorry, I don't remember who just told the story about the woman who did the fundraising with the Herbies.
That was me. That was Sheila.
Sheila, thank you. But what my question is with that, okay, so I don't know what type of organization it was, but you're saying they ordered 240 of them because I think you said 120 and then doubled?
Right. So with a fundraiser, you're getting 50% earnings. Mm-hmm. So the particular fundraiser that they did, they weren't needing money. They were wanting the sales and they were wanting to give. So a lot of times, especially with the plush, which happens to be the Herbie right now. And you know what? I actually misspoke. It was the Lion at the time, because that's what was earlier during the year. But at any rate, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
The $20 plush. So your cost on the 20 is 10 because you're getting the 50%. So what they did was add in a little bit for shipping and to cover their shipping and tax.
Mm-hmm.
And they donated them to the local police departments.
Okay, I saw that on someone's Facebook page.
Yes, because so they were actually able to donate double, which resulted in double the sales for them.
Gotcha. So they collected them all and they had them all shipped to the police station, I assume?
They had them shipped to them and then took them to the police station, but
Okay.
you could have them shipped to a location as long as you have that agreement with the location. They will, Avon will ship a fundraiser directly to a location.
I'm just picturing 240 Herbies showing up at my house.
I know, right?
That's a great picture.
Actually, they had quite a
What would that
picture.
look like? How many boxes do you think would come?
I don't remember how many boxes it was, but it was quite a picture.
So I'm wondering, like, I wanted to possibly do one for one of the humane societies around here.
Mm-hmm.
And so how would you go about doing that? Let's say would I just ask people, like, okay, I want you to donate to this, and you can either donate your Herbie or you can take it. But would you, I don't know, would you just go to people you know, or would you do it in an instance like that where it's not a school?
They really did. I mean, they went everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
What I would really suggest is two things. On YourAvon.com, there's a whole section on fundraising.
Mm-hmm.
Are you on the 2.0?
I am.
Okay, so if you scroll all the way down, you'll see a whole section just related to fundraising, and it literally walks you through, and it has FAQs and all of that in terms of how to set it up, how to talk to the people, how to promote it, all of that. And then one of the people that did this was, you saw her on the screen, Sherry Harris. You can always reach out to her on Facebook.
Okay.
I know I have Sherry Harris and Tina Lillig who do a lot. But look for those people who are doing the fundraisers and reach out to them and find out just what are they doing.
What was Tina's last name?
Tina's is Lillig. It's Lillig.
Got it. Okay. And I got Sherry.
And there's plenty more. I mean, we heard a story in Lexington from a lady who did 10,000 in sales in one campaign with a fundraiser.
Nice.
That was Karen Wilkerson. So there's a lot of them out there as you start seeing people either post fundraisers or post successes about fundraisers, or reach out in the Southeast Facebook group and just say, hey, I'm looking for some help and some ideas.
And you know, Christine, with the holidays coming around, everyone or businesses, they opt to give back. And that could be a great way for them to give back. You know, how many would you like to donate?
Right.
What is your plan for giving back this holiday season? And start talking to them about it now. Don't wait till December, because they'll already come up with something because somebody else will have asked them. But you know, the thing is you can partner with businesses, you can partner with schools. There are tons of schools, at least in my area, that they do a holiday Christmas tree where they put stuffed animals under the tree to donate every single year. I mean, there's tons of things that you can connect with. My first impression has been, if you've ever seen, and this probably isn't the time of year for it anymore, but you ever see anyone outside, they're doing like a car wash, you better be pulling in, you better be asking who is in charge, who can you speak to help them book their next earning opportunity. So just, you got to look everywhere you go and just think outside the box a little bit. Who can help move things for you so you're not doing it all yourself?
Where's the what's the name of the Southeast Facebook group?
It's
New Avon Southeast.
Avon Southeast region.
Mm-hmm.
No, okay, got it.
Okay, so we're looking at time here. We're right on the dot, so we'll end this. Now all is left is to identify what's next for you. So ready, set, grow. So what you could do is complete page 2 of your Boss Life worksheet. Be the Avon brand. Do a selfie challenge. That's always fun. And practice making connections during your chance encounters. So everywhere you go, practice. Practice makes perfect, right? And just like Lane was talking about, everybody that you see that, I tell people even on Facebook when they're selling clothes or they're selling wreaths or whatever they're selling, they're trying to make money. So those are the people you want to talk to. And especially that you're trying to add people to your team. So we're asking you to add 2 people to your team, and that's a great way to do it. Talk to as many people as you can everywhere you go. And then here's a great quote to end all of this. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. And I love that. It's so true.
That's awesome.
So I want to thank you, Christine and Tricia, for being on, and everybody else that's listening to the replay. And this ends our session today. But if you have any questions or, reach out to your upline, your mentor, or your coach, they're always glad to help you. And it's so exciting. Get started now on that Mexico trip. And just remember, plan ahead. It's going to help. So thanks, everybody, for all that you put in today and your time with us. We appreciate it. Have a good day. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.